keep reading that, or hearing, that Pennsylvania has no water. This is the trail, and it's a river. So, I don't know if you can hear in the background, there's just water flowing everywhere. The locals tell me that they've had a ton of rain this year. It certainly shows up on the trail. It's just everywhere. The trail's a big mucky mess. I don't know if you can see that, but there's water running right down there. Someone's driving a vehicle on this. Or maybe they dug a trench so the water would drain off. I don't know. Oops, mucky. Yeah, this is the lake trail. Oops. Might get water in my shoe. All right, well, that's the view from this morning. Good morning. I think it's called Tom's Run. It's named the shelter, but I'm about 2/10 of a mile north of Tom's Run shelter. And Guthook says that this is 1,100 miles. Now, there's no markers here because anything that would have been here probably got washed out. But I'm going to do an 1,100 mile 360. That's the trail south. Springer's that way. That would be the sun in the morning. And that's trail north. So that's 1,100 miles. Yay! Later. All right, so this is the start of a bypass. It looks like it bypasses the trail by a couple miles. Maybe adds a quarter mile to half mile to the hike. Trail is blocked off. Looks like it's got those plastic things that they put up on TV whenever there's a crime. I don't know what's wrong, why the trail is shut down, but somebody said maybe they were trying to get rid of some invasive species here, which I don't exactly know how you do that. I guess you'd go in and try to clean it out and then keep people out of there so they don't drag more of it in there. Now, the downside of that is the 1,100 mile mark is in that section. Now, I have to admit, I walked down the trail a little bit at the 1,100 mile mark because it was only a 10th past the shelter or so, and took a picture. So I'm an evil person, I'm sorry. But I did rinse my shoes off first. So if it is invasive species, I did try to keep stuff off my feet. But I don't know what's the problem. I guess I always assume there's a bridge out or something, and or now with so much rain, it could be flooded out. The trail that runs along, I want to say that's 30 or maybe it's 60. The one that's by Caledonia State Park. The trail runs right along the small river there. And because of all the rain, you know, the area adjacent to the river is underwater. Now, luckily there's a utility line that runs just parallel to it, like maybe 20 or 30 feet away. So they just had you walk that, which is fine. Ooh, bridge. Bridge. And I see there's some red diamonds up here. There's a blue blaze. The sign back there just said follow the blue blaze, but we'll see. I mean, so far the trail looks like it's pretty well marked and pretty well used, so at least at this point I don't anticipate any problems. All right, well, nothing else here today. Oh, I'm going to go into, was it Pine Grove Furnace? And I stopped at that shelter so that I could go in early, so I could get up, and I didn't get up early, so I could get in there early and have time to partake of the food, but mostly give myself time to resupply, because this time of year you don't know what's going to be open and what's going to be closed and how late they'll be open. So I figure if I get in there around, I don't know what time it is, but if I get in there around 11 or 12, anything that's going to be open will be open at that time. And then by 4 o'clock, maybe a lot of stuff will be closed down. But I need a shower. I need some clean laundry. I'm really starting to stink. All right, later. Strange animal tracks. If anybody knows what these are, put a comment out there that tells me what kind of animal makes tracks like this. I'm a sucker for a bridge. There's they built little rises in the trail so that you can go over the mud, and I imagine normally this is fine, but of course with all the rain, the trail is just muddy everywhere. It's pretty hard to go more than 100 yards and not have to figure out how to work your way through some mud. Looks like they plan to make some more raised trail. Okay, that's my mud comment for this morning. Oh wait, that was a bridge comment. Bridge. All right, still on the bypass or the detour. Oh man, your place is freaking muddy. All right, so it looks like we're going to do some road walking, but I see signs there, so it's probably only like 50 yards. I'll speed this up if I make a video, if I put this in a video, because I have nothing to say. So far the detour's been uneventful. It's been quite flat actually, although I think, most of the trail since Harper's Ferry, after climbing out of Harper's Ferry, has been relatively flat, with a few exceptions. Appalachian Trail reroute. Okay. Is the reroute that way? Or is the reroute that way? What do you think? It says follow the blue blazes, but I don't see a blue blaze. Ah, crap. All right. Rerouters, just for future reference, when you get something like this, I know all you guys hike here every other day and you know where you're going, all that kind of crap, but I have no idea. Marker right there, sign on that tree, and maybe these red things are supposed to be the bypass, but that's not what the sign said. The sign said follow the blue blaze. So I'm going to go this way because I think I can see an outhouse or a cabin or something up there. So that's probably just a, I don't know if you can see that through the woods, but I can kind of see lights. I think, yeah, that's a cabin. So that's probably not, it's probably this way. All right, trail rerouters, get your shit together. Remember, we're just dumb hikers. And it's easy, it's easier to send us the right way than to spend 2 days hunting for us in the woods. And I can see mud ahead. God darn it. I know, why do you come out and hike the Appalachian Trail after a monsoon and then complain about the mud? Right, I get it. I can still complain. All right, that's it. Okay, so when I started down this trail, I got down as about a quarter mile and checked it, and it didn't appear to be the Appalachian Trail reroute because there were no signs, nothing marking it once I got on it. But there is this sign back at the shelter says follow the Blue Blaze Trail, and there is a Blue Blaze Trail that goes that's east of here that loops around, and I thought that's the one they wanted you to follow, but I really couldn't tell. Now this is the first time I've seen one of these little red diamonds since I've been on this trail, so but apparently this is the correct trail to take. It just was really poorly marked, and if you go down to the Blue Blaze, it's a little further east. You're not gonna be that far out of your way, and you're still gonna end up. All three trails, the Appalachian Trail, this trail, and that Blue Blaze east here, all end up in the same place. This is a little shorter than the Blue Blaze, and I have a feeling that this is since I saw the Appalachian Trail reroute sign, this is the Appalachian Trail reroute. But boy, was it poorly marked. No kudos for that. You guys get up and go put a sign up that clearly indicates which trail you're supposed to take. All right, well, I guess they're all volunteers. You can't bitch at them too much. Sorry, guys, for bitching at you. Thanks for taking care of the trail. Thanks for making this possible. But put up a sign anyway. And I finally stopped skipping around the mud. I guess once I had two shoes got wet, I just started walking right through it, which is actually a lot quicker. Not that I'm trying to be quicker or anything, but it's a lot quicker. All right, later. Okay, so that's where the Blue Blaze comes in, the trail that goes east. This is the bypass reroute, which comes down here. And then at least the bypass and the Blue Blaze are going to be the same trail for a while. But that sign back, as I say, that sign back at the shelter was very confusing because it said follow the Blue Blaze. And that trail, the bypass had no Blue Blaze on it. It had little red diamonds, and not even very many of those. But it all worked out. And let me just say that while I was taking that trail, I thought I was not taking the sort of official bypass, the official reroute. But there were some people behind me, some locals behind me hiking. And I went back and asked them, where they were hiking. And they're hiking this trail all the way around. They're doing a loop. They're actually going to do this trail and then loop around and go to the, like there's some kind of view around here somewhere. And they're going to loop around and go to the view. So the only reason why I did this is because I knew there'd be people behind me. Otherwise, I would not have taken an alternate trail, you know, without telling somebody I was on it, you know. So I turned around, started walking back, met the people that were coming, you know, the other way, and then talked to them for a bit. Figured out they were going the same place I was going, and they were behind me. So if anything happened, maybe there'd be people behind me later. Okay, the Appalachian Trail, as it gets closer, is it Pine Grove Furnace? It has little cabins along it. There's about 3 or 4. And this part of the trail looks like that guy's driveway. And finally gave up on stepping around the mud. You know, at some point you make a misstep and you dunk a foot, and then 10 or 15 minutes or half hour later you make a misstep and dunk the other foot, and at that point you just walk. I prefer to hike in dry socks, but you know, once they're wet, they're wet. It's real profound, huh? And what that really lets you do is then you just walk straight through the stuff and you don't have to skip around it and, you know, slow down to skip across rocks and all that kind of stuff. You just walk. Okay, and we've hit a road. There's another little cabin. These are cute little cabins. I wonder if they're privately owned or if they're rented out, but they're really cool. All right, it looks to me like the double blaze says we're going that way, but I don't know that for a fact. All right, afternoon. I just left Pine Grove Furnace. Is that it? No, you're not. Just left Pine Grove Furnace. I think that's the name of it. At any rate, I couldn't resist the shower, so I took the shower at the shower house they have there. What I will say is that if you go in there and you press the button and the water's cold, just keep holding the button down. It takes a long time, but it'll warm up. At least it's lukewarm. So I took a shower, and I had to buy soap at that general store. So I showered, and you know, did the hiker thing, showered and put dirty clothes back on. So I'm clean, my clothes are filthy, but I feel a lot better, and I think there's about a 500-foot climb out of here. At the end of the 500-foot climb, my clothes and myself will probably smell the same, so I guess it really doesn't matter because I put on clean clothes. By the end of that climb, they've been stinky already because I'll be sweating my butt off going up there. I think I'll say is, and I can't speak for all year round, but at least later in the year, you should call that store and see how long they're open, because their hours didn't match what's in Gut Hook, or I should say in AWOL. Yeah, if you're hiking late, I'd always call ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How you doing?
Good.
that's the, I guess that's the Pine Grove Beach. How you doing? Yeah. Well, I'm gonna shut this off and then just enjoy. In fact, I just showered, never put my shoes on because my socks are just a filthy mess. Yeah. So I'm gonna walk on this nice pea gravel path until I drop one of my socks and go back and get it. Hi. Okay, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, I'm walking in my sandals because I just took a shower, as I said, and I'm carrying my socks, which are all muddy, and I'm gonna let them dry as much as I can. And so as long as I'm on this little pea gravel path, I'm just gonna wear my sandals. And when I scoped down to look at my muddy socks, one of them was missing. I'm thinking, oh man, I'm gonna have to go all the way back to that bathhouse and get my sock. But I just dropped it about 10 yards back. So this is the trail for now. I think there's mosquitoes biting me. I think this goes on for a little bit, and then it, as I said, I think there's a 500-foot or so climb. And then I think it's flat ridge or predominantly down for the rest of the day. This is pretty, isn't it? Beautiful. But geez, it's swampy. Look at all that water down there. It's just swampy everywhere. And they said Pennsylvania has no water. It's like swampy everywhere. All right, later.